So I came across this news story and I found this interesting. In a previous video, I mentioned this article here. At it again, Dimon breaks vow, says Bitcoin buyers will pay the price. Basically, what happened was the day before, I think it was the 12th, he said on a conference call, earnings call with investors, he said that he's going to no longer make public statements. This is what the article's talking about. He's no longer going to make public statements regarding Bitcoin. Now, here's what's fascinating. About a month ago, he made a comment that basically Bitcoin was fraudulent. It was a Ponzi scheme. There was nothing to it. When he said that, the price of Bitcoin dropped sharply. Probably, well, I think it went below 4,000. I would have to go back and look. But he said that and the price dropped sharply. Coming to find out, a few days later, a news story came out that his own bank had basically a trading desk investing in Bitcoin. Now, he knew that when he called it a Ponzi scheme and he called it fraudulent. On the 12th, he comes back and he says, so we're talking about several weeks after that incident, he comes back and he says on the earnings call, hey, I'm no longer going to say anything negative or public about Bitcoin. Later that same day, the price of Bitcoin rallies to near all-time highs and in fact did eventually cross over into all-time highs. Then the next day, he ends up on a television interview and he basically says, he calls Bitcoin buyers stupid. He says, where's it at? If you're stupid enough to buy it, you'll pay the price for it one day. Again, it's ironic. He makes these disparaging comments about Bitcoin investors, knowing that his own bank has been investing in Bitcoin, and it appears that the last time he made negative remark, it was just to drop the price so his own bank could buy more. He says later on an investor's call, let's recap this. He says later on an investor's call, I'm no longer going to make a public remark, but what he didn't know when he made that statement on the investor's call was that the price was going to soar, skyrocket. Well, it appears that he needed that price to come back down. So, of course, he makes this remark. And by the way, the price came down a little bit, but it didn't come down very much at all. And I think it's because investors are realizing this guy's full of it, especially when he got caught last time. However, then I came across this incredible news story. Massive disruption. The IMF says cryptocurrencies must be taken seriously. So this lady, this Lagarde, is basically in charge of the International Monetary Fund, which we're talking about international. So this gentleman is like Jamie Dimon's basically the head of a single bank in a single country, essentially. Of course, they have branches probably in other countries, but basically the CEO of a single bank in a single country. She is in charge of international banking among countries. In other words, she's the bank that countries go to, essentially, for the simplest layman terms. And she's saying, hey, cryptocurrencies must be taken seriously. This article is fascinating. She goes on to talk about that they've been using the technology, because they've been working on ways to use the technology in the international currency called special drawing rights. This is special drawing rights, or basically SDRs, are basically how some countries interact with each other financially. But she's like, look, we've been trying to figure out how to use this technology, blockchain type technology, for special drawing rights because it's efficient. It works. It's low cost. So she went on to say, in her conversation with CNBC today, Lagarde spoke out against JP Morgan Chase head Jamie Dimon's heavy dismissal of Bitcoin as a fraud and warned against miscategorizing the cryptocurrency sphere as speculative or fraudulent. Lagarde advised, it's a lot more than that as well. No kidding. I'm telling you right now, it is my personal belief, and you need to do your own research. You need to look this up, but it is my personal belief that if countries adopt any cryptocurrency, that cryptocurrency is going to go through the roof. And I believe that it's very possible. And I also believe that countries don't have to adopt it for it to still to go through the roof. There's a lot of people that don't want government involved in cryptocurrency at all. Well, I'm here to tell you they're going to get involved sooner or later. And depending on how they get involved, the price could go sky high. And if they choose at some point not to get involved, I believe that also can send the price sky high. And I can talk about that in another video. Go ahead and click the subscribe button, the notification icon below. Keep paying attention to the cryptocurrency news, the Bitcoin news. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.